Okay, we're gonna film Bonnie. This is her third feeding in a month. We just moved up to a 4.5 pound piglet. She shed today and she seems to be coming along nice. She's still considerably lighter than I would like her to be. She weighed out at 32 pounds this morning, which was at 10.5 feet. And we're just trying to healthy approach to bulking her back up. So I'm not giving her enormous food items, but we are feeding her a little more often. She was in blue for less than a week, and she came out of blue day before yesterday and went, shed today perfectly, one piece. So again, I'm going to give kudos to Matthew Martin at Monster Feeders, because these piglets are just absolutely the best thing ever. Less poop, less mess, and a hell of a lot less hair than if you were to feed, say, rabbits. I've mentioned this in the last feeding video of her, that Eva, as big as she is, she's still not a fan of the pigs. Though I may try again. We're seeing what's happening now because Eva's, still in breeding with Clyde. So neither one will be eating for a while. And we'll see what happens. But right now the focus is on Bonnie. And she's been doing real good. Fed her a couple of weeks ago and she took a 3-pound pig in under 6 minutes. And I mean, she hit it and immediately started swallowing. I did the first feeding in the backyard, which is, something I do quite often with them, but they really seem to enjoy feeding underwater, and that's what we're going to do today, obviously. I mentioned this in the last feeding video, but again, Bonnie and Clyde, though I'm still not 100% whether they're related or not, they did both come from Ben Rennick's stock, and according to Josh Roberts, they're both possible het for anery. It'd be cool to see what happens, but Clyde accidentally, well, not accidentally for him, but I was cleaning her cage out last year, and it was in this very tub that Clyde found her and had one successful lock, and she delivered 27 stillborn babies this past fall. And it was tough on her. She had one initially, and then we had various times over the next 3 weeks where she would have 2 or 3, and then one day she just dropped like 16 of them. So it really put me in a position to where I've considered never breeding her, regardless of the different gene. But we'll see what happens. At the very least, probably give her another 2 years at least to fatten up and see what happens. Nothing this year and nothing next year for sure. And we'll just see how it goes. I've got others, so it's not crucial for me to get babies out of her. But yeah, she lost a lot of weight, and if a snake can go through a depression, she definitely did, because she didn't want food, she didn't want to leave her tub, and then one day she popped the lid off her tub after about 2 months, and the next day I offered her food and she didn't take it, and then I could see signs another couple weeks later that she was ready to take food, and she did. And now I've been feeding her about every 2 to 3 weeks. It varies, but she's also not getting large meals, and because it's a pig, it's more calcium, more protein, quality fat, and very little hair. In fact, she hasn't, to the best of my knowledge, it seems that the hair is coming out with the regular feces, and not a separate deposit like you would get with the with rabbits. Anyway, I've been figuring her to be somewhere between 10.5 and 11.5 feet, and actually I had her up against the brick wall earlier today, and she was just a hair under 10.5 feet. So she and Clyde are literally the same length, and since he's been breeding Eva, he's lost some weight too, so she's actually now a little bit thicker than he is. I'm going to put him at I haven't weighed him in a while, but I'm guessing just from his girth that he's probably in his 25 to 30 pounds. And she was a solid 35 today after her shed, so yeah, she's taking her time getting this one down because it's a little bit bigger, and it's the first time I've offered her, something this large since before she got pregnant. If I didn't mention it already, this is a 5-pound piglet. I love watching these things because they're just so graceful. And actually I find them to be quite trusting because I've never had an act of aggression from any of them. Even when I pull them from the cage and maybe they don't want to be pulled out at a particular time, they just, do their best to avoid. Like when I'll pull them halfway out of the cage and then they'll just recoil back into the cage, and sometimes there's little you can do about it, but seriously, 9 times out of 10 when I go to pull them out, they come out willingly and transferred to a different tub, and they're just awesome. My neighbor's husky is peeking through the fence, wondering why he's not getting a treat. Kane. Anyway, she's done, and I'll probably just leave her in this holding tank overnight, maybe for a couple of days, because I've got a radiant heat panel hooked up to the lid. Anyway, that's it. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for hanging out.